The Ethiopian highlands whisper tales of ancient kings and queens. They hold memories of empires that rose and fell, and within those echoes we find the story of two brothers, ABRHA and ASBAHA. These men, born into a world on the cusp of change, would rise to shape the destiny of a kingdom. Their names are etched in the stones of Aksum, an empire that once commanded the trade routes of the Red Sea. ABRHA and ASBAHA walked those dusty paths, their hearts filled with ambition and a yearning for something more. They were destined for greatness, but their journey would be fraught with challenges. Join us now as we journey back in time. Let us uncover the lives of ABRHA and ASBAHA, two brothers who became legends in the land of ancient Ethiopia. Their story is one of faith, of struggle, and ultimately of the enduring power of brotherhood. The sun beat down on the bustling city of Aksum. Merchants hawked their wares, their voices a vibrant hum in the marketplace. Camels laden with spices and silks lumbered through the dusty streets. This was the heart of a kingdom, a place of power and ancient traditions. It was here, in the 4th century AD, that ABRHA and ASBAHA were born. Their family of noble lineage held a place of honor within Aksumite society. From their earliest days, the brothers were surrounded by the richness of their culture. Their home buzzed with activity. Servants hurried to and fro, attending to the needs of the household. The air was thick with the scent of incense, a constant reminder of the rituals that permeated their lives. ABRHA and ASBAHA, wide-eyed and curious, absorbed it all. The brothers were inseparable, their bond forged in the crucible of childhood. They played amongst the towering obelisks that dotted Aksum, their laughter echoing through the ancient stones. But even in their games, one could sense a difference in the boys. ABRHA, the elder by a few years, possessed a natural authority. He was a leader amongst their playmates, his commands issued with a quiet confidence. ASBAHA, though smaller in stature, had a sharp mind. He observed everything, his eyes missing nothing. Their parents, recognizing the potential within their sons, ensured they received the finest education. Scholars and priests were brought to the palace, their minds brimming with knowledge. ABRHA excelled in matters of strategy and warfare, his skills honed through mock battles and hours spent studying ancient texts. ASBAHA, drawn to matters of faith and philosophy, devoured scrolls on religion and the natural world. He spent hours in debate with the priests, his questions challenging their long-held beliefs. The brothers, though different in temperament, shared an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. As they grew older, their lessons extended beyond the palace walls. Their father, a wise and just ruler, often took his sons with him on his travels throughout the kingdom. ABRHA and ASBAHA witnessed firsthand the challenges of governance, the delicate balance between power and compassion. They saw the plight of farmers struggling to feed their families during times of drought. They heard the pleas of merchants seeking protection for their caravans from bandits, and they learned that true leadership meant more than simply issuing commands. It meant understanding the needs of one's people. One evening, as the sun cast long shadows across the savannah, their father gathered his sons around a crackling fire. "My sons," he began, his voice heavy with wisdom, "you are the future of our kingdom. The weight of our ancestors rests upon your shoulders. Remember always," he continued, his gaze fixed on their faces, "that true power lies not in strength of arms, but in strength of character. Rule with justice, with compassion, and with a heart that beats for your people." ABRHA and ASBAHA, deeply moved by their father's words, vowed to honor his legacy. Little did they know that their path would lead them on a journey far more extraordinary than they could have ever imagined. As ABRHA and ASBAHA matured, their reputations for wisdom spread throughout Aksum. Their father, now with silver hair, watched with pride and apprehension. One day a worried messenger arrived with news of unrest in the southern provinces. The king, his health failing, knew he could not lead his army. He summoned his sons. "The time has come for you to prove yourselves. ABRHA, lead our armies south. Show strength with mercy." ABRHA knelt. "Father, I will not fail you." The king turned to ASBAHA. "You will guide our people here." ASBAHA understood his duty. Father, I will serve you faithfully." The brothers prepared for their separate journeys. The weight of leadership rested heavily on ASBAHA's shoulders. He spent countless hours in the palace library, poring over scrolls. He sought counsel from his advisors, often left more confused than enlightened. He traveled throughout the kingdom, listening to the concerns of his people. He heard the pleas of farmers and the complaints of merchants. True leadership meant understanding the needs of those he ruled. ASBAHA implemented a series of reforms, lowering taxes and providing grain. He established trade agreements, and Aksum began to prosper. ABRHA, leading the Aksumite army, proved himself a brilliant strategist. He won decisive victories but showed mercy to those who surrendered. ABRHA knew true strength lay in building a just and prosperous kingdom. After months of campaigning, ABRHA returned to Aksum, his army laden with the spoils of war. The city erupted in celebration as he rode through the streets, his brother ASBAHA at his side. With a trembling hand, the king placed a golden crown upon ABRHA's head. "My son, you are now the king of Aksum. Rule wisely, rule justly." And so, as the sun set on a new era, ABRHA and ASBAHA stood together, their hands clasped in brotherhood. The reign of ABRHA and ASBAHA began under the auspices of the old gods, yet a new faith was sweeping across the known world. Christianity had reached the shores of Aksum. Merchants spoke of a single God who reigned over all creation. They carried intricately crafted crosses and whispered tales of miracles. At first, these stories were dismissed as ramblings. However, the whispers grew louder. Soon, even the palace walls could not keep out the growing tide of curiosity. He spent hours in deep conversation with Frumentius, a Syrian Christian trader. Frumentius shared the stories of Jesus Christ, his life, death, and resurrection. ASBAHA, stirred by these words, began to see the world differently. He found solace in the message of love and forgiveness. One evening, ASBAHA approached his brother with newfound conviction. "ABRHA, I have found something extraordinary, a truth that can change our kingdom." The meeting between ABRHA, ASBAHA, and Frumentius took place in the palace library. Frumentius spoke of the teachings of Christ. He answered their questions with patience and clarity. ABRHA wrestled with his doubts. He had always been a man of action. The concept of faith was unsettling, yet he could not deny its impact on his brother. ASBAHA placed a hand on his arm. "Brother, I know this is a lot to process, but I believe in a brighter future for Aksum, a future built on love and compassion." ABRHA looked into his brother's eyes. He saw the unwavering faith and knew the truth. With hope, they embraced Christianity. The proclamation that ABRHA and ASBAHA, the rulers of Aksum, had embraced Christianity sent shockwaves through the kingdom. In the grand temples, where incense had always curled towards the heavens, a sense of unease settled. The priests, keepers of ancient traditions, watched with growing alarm. Their power, once absolute, was now challenged by a new faith. Word spread like wildfire through the bustling marketplaces. Change, even when promising a brighter future, was often met with resistance. ABRHA and ASBAHA, acutely aware of the challenges ahead, embarked on a delicate dance. They understood that converting an entire kingdom to a new faith would be a monumental task. They began by inviting Christian missionaries into Aksum. Churches, adorned with vibrant frescoes, began to spring up. The sound of hymns mingled with the chants of the priests. ABRHA established schools to teach Christianity. ASBAHA traveled tirelessly, preaching love and salvation. His words, spoken with sincerity and conviction, resonated with many, offering a glimmer of hope in a world often shrouded in uncertainty. Yet for every convert who embraced the cross, there were those who clung fiercely to the old ways. Rumors of dissent, fueled by fear and resentment, spread through the kingdom like a creeping vine. The priests, their power waning with each passing day, became bolder in their opposition. They accused ABRHA and ASBAHA of blasphemy, of turning their backs on the gods who had protected their ancestors for generations. They warned of droughts, plagues, and the wrath of the heavens should the kings continue down this path. In the shadows, a more insidious threat began to take shape. Whispers of rebellion, of a plot to overthrow the Christian kings and restore the old gods to their former glory, circulated among those who felt their traditions were under attack. ABRHA and ASBAHA, walking a tightrope between faith and power, found themselves facing a challenge that threatened not only their reign but the very soul of their kingdom. ABRHA and ASBAHA, though facing opposition, refused to let the light of their newfound faith be extinguished. They understood that true change required more than just words. It demanded visible symbols of devotion. Thus began a period of intense construction, a physical manifestation of the spiritual transformation sweeping through Axum. Skilled artisans, their hands guided by both earthly and divine inspiration, set to work. Stone by stone, they erected magnificent churches, their spires reaching towards the heavens like prayers frozen in time. Among these architectural marvels, one stood apart as a beacon of faith, the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. Under their rule, Axum experienced a golden age, its influence stretching far beyond its borders. Trade flourished, bringing wealth and new ideas to the kingdom. Merchants, their ships laden with spices, silks, and ivory, sailed across the Red Sea, carrying with them tales of Axum's grandeur and the benevolence of its Christian kings. The brothers, recognizing the importance of diplomacy, established relations with powerful empires such as Byzantium and Persia. They sent envoys to distant lands, their journeys fostering cultural exchange and solidifying Axum's place on the world stage. Art and literature flourished under their patronage. Intricate stone carvings, their details a testament to the skill of Aksumite artisans, adorned churches and palaces. Poetry and hymns written in Ge'ez, the ancient language of Ethiopia, celebrated the virtues of faith and the glory of God. ABRHA and ASBAHA's reign was not without its challenges. Conflicts with neighboring kingdoms, fueled by territorial disputes and the desire to control lucrative trade routes, tested their mettle. Yet through it all, they remained steadfast in their commitment to peace, seeking to resolve conflicts through diplomacy whenever possible. As their reign drew to a close, ABRHA and ASBAHA could look back upon their lives with a sense of accomplishment. They had guided their kingdom through a period of immense change, transforming it from a land steeped in ancient traditions to a beacon of Christianity in Africa. Their names, forever intertwined, would be etched not just in the annals of history, but in the very soul of Ethiopia. The churches they built, though weathered by time and the relentless march of history, still stand today. They serve as enduring reminders of the brothers' unwavering faith, their walls echoing with the prayers of generations past and present. The ruins of Axum, scattered across the Ethiopian highlands, whisper tales of their reign, a testament to the enduring power of their legacy. Their story is a testament to the transformative power of faith, the importance of education, and the impact that two individuals, united by a common vision, can have on the course of history. ABRHA and ASBAHA, the brothers who brought Christianity to the heart of ancient Ethiopia, left behind a legacy that continues to inspire and resonate centuries later. Time, an impartial sculptor, etched its passage on the faces of ABRHA and ASBAHA. The brothers, once brimming with the boundless energy of youth, now moved with a measured grace. ABRHA preferred the quiet solace of the palace gardens. ASBAHA, his thirst for knowledge undimmed, continued to delve into ancient texts. Despite their advancing years, the bond between the brothers remained unbreakable. News of ABRHA's passing swept through Axum like a mournful wind, carrying a profound sense of loss. The king, his body weakened by age, had breathed his last peacefully in his sleep. His loyal brother ASBAHA by his side, the city fell silent, draped in a cloak of grief. ASBAHA oversaw the funeral rites, his voice steady amidst the lamentations. ABRHA was laid to rest with treasures, symbols of a life in service to his people. The outpouring of grief from his subjects honored his memory. ASBAHA assumed leadership, ruling with wisdom and compassion. He continued to champion Christianity, overseeing the construction of new churches. He reminded his people of unity, compassion, and faith. When ASBAHA's time came, the nation bid farewell to a beloved leader. He was laid to rest beside his brother, their tombs a testament to their enduring bond. The kingdom they left behind stood as a lasting monument to their vision. The sun sets over the Ethiopian highlands, casting long shadows over the land where ABRHA and ASBAHA once ruled. The bustling marketplaces of Axum now lie silent, their vibrant energy replaced by whispers of the past. They were more than just rulers, they were architects of faith, entwined with the arrival of Christianity in ancient Ethiopia. The churches they built still stand as testaments to their unwavering devotion. Within those sacred spaces, one can almost hear the echoes of their prayers. ABRHA and ASBAHA's story reminds us that true leadership demands compassion, vision, and commitment. Their legacy continues to inspire generations to come.